let's get down to something I've been doing since I was a really, really little boy. And that's watching the Grammys. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag in all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for the 61st Annual Grammy Awards 2019. Let's get down to it. This was... Actually, you know, the Grammys always gets a bad rap for being boring and being long. And most times it's because you don't really know, all of the artists. And then there's a lot of music it's a lot of music. There's very few people who keep up with all of the music and all of the genres. But this year, I have to say, even with not knowing all of the artists and not knowing all of the music, I learned some new music. I picked up on some new folks, seen some old folks, which is actually what I think award shows are all about. You know what I mean? It's broadening your horizons, and this is what happened. And it hasn't happened in a couple of years, but I actually watched the whole telecast, didn't fast forward through anything like that. It was really, really entertaining. Honestly, from the beginning all the way through the end, I literally had myself a good time. So let's go ahead and just start with the fact that Latin America was totally represented in the very beginning. You had Camila Cabello actually opened up, and she actually had Ricky Martin on with her. She had her own actual family inside of the skit she did. Her grandma, her sister, I think her brother. It was they did Havana, and it was really a nod to Latin America, and you got to see some of her culture, and it was good. It was really, really good. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really cool. And then we went right into that, and then we found out our host is Alicia Keys. I'm looking at Alicia, and I said, okay, and I had to get my mindset together. Right in the moment that I saw her, I said, stop, back it up. No need to start looking for all this glitz and this glamour and all of this. It's Alicia Keys. It's Alicia Keys. And I'm going to say Alicia truly was true to her fashion, her whole aesthetic. She didn't try to be somebody that she wasn't. She was just Alicia Keys all night, and that was it. So I don't have any reads on anything that she wore. She was just Alicia Keys. Of course it wasn't things that I would have chose to wear. Of course it wasn't as many costume changes as I would have chose. But, I'm over the top. I'm extra. I'm a bit too much at times. But she was truly Alicia Keys, and I'm here for it, and I'm cool with everything that she did. It was cool. Now, what I was trying to figure out, I was like, okay, so what we're going to do here, we did Havana in the beginning, and this was cool. Now, Alicia, she not singing. So what is she ready to do to open this up? She's not a comedian, so what type of monologue is she going to have? And then Alicia cracked my face. She said, I'm not going to be here, and don't bring my girls out. And I was like, okay. And they open up the back, and there's these 4 women coming. And I'm like, who is that? And I'm like, it's not In Vogue, because there's only 3 of them now. It's not SWV. Who would she be talking about? It's her girls, baby. And them lights went up, and the crowd went ape. The crowd went ape shit. There was Lady Gaga, Jada Pinkett Smith, J-Lo, and Michelle Obama. I about fell out on the floor. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? And then they got to talk about, they did a quick little thing where he talked about music and what part music plays in their life. it was, I thought it was outstanding. I thought it was outstanding. It was something that I had never seen anybody really do or pull off before. And First Lady. First Lady down to the Grammys. Everybody else could have just stood there and didn't say anything that would even made a difference. But First Lady. And when Michelle took the mic last, you know, they went, you know, down the line, and everybody was the script, because, you know, everybody loves Gaga, everybody loves J-Lo, everybody loves Jada and Will. And when Michelle hit the mic, baby, the people went up. She had to say, okay, y'all, okay. Girl, that's just how we love you, honey. That's just the way we love you, First Lady Michelle Obama. Okay? Child, please, I got my life. Anyway, so... And that was the thing, and that was another thing I liked. Each one of them, those are powerful women. Each one of the four of them. And each one of them were dressed in their aesthetic. You know, there was no grandiose thing going on. There was no competition amongst what was going on. It was nothing. It was just an actual girl power moment. I loved it. I thought it was great. I did. I thought it was great. And Michelle was clean. Gaga was clean. You know, Alicia had her little get up on with her head scarf, getting down, and Jada, and see, Jada pulled it on me for some reason. And this is how you get caught up in the hype of something. Jada was true to Jada. Okay, she had this gown that was a lot of stones and a lot of nervous feathers all over it. And when she came out in this part, I was like, gorgeous. Gorgeous. I loved it. And then when I got that, and J-Lo was, you know, sombrero and you know how J-Lo do. And I'm like, cool. But when I went back and did red carpet, I didn't like Jada's dress. I actually hated it. So I said, wow, that's so funny how you get caught up in a moment and you basically kind of drop things and excuse things that you normally wouldn't drop. Because when I actually got the chance to get into Jada's dress, because I watched the red carpet, I got down. I seen parts of the red carpet, but I got down, really down into the red carpet later. Because you have to go to my separate video. I have a separate video for the red carpet. But I got down to my red carpet looks, and I hated Jada's dress. But you have to go over to that video to see what I have to say about Jada's dress. Because I'm not going to ruin this moment with all the things I said about Jada's dress. But I hated it, but I got caught in the moment. I loved this moment. So we're going to let you pass in this moment, Jada, because it was just a beautiful moment, and we're going to give it to you right now. But girl, me and you in that dress, we got a date on another video. All right, y'all, let's move on. So that was the opening of the show. I thought it was great. Then we had a performance by Shawn Mendes, who I really, really like, and he was joined by Miley Cyrus, who I like as well, to do It Is in My Blood, and I thought it was good. I thought it was really good, and I was like, Shawn, today you're going to have to sing, because, you know, sometimes Shawn Mendes doesn't get me where I need to go with his vocals. You know, when he puts them down, fabulous. But sometimes his music, he can't keep up with his vocals. But I was like, Miley Cyrus can really sing for real. Like, for real, for real. Miley can sing, and Miley will get up there and make you sing. So I was like, what you gonna do, Shawn? Because you're gonna have to perform tonight. You know, and I knew it was a whole thing. I knew what type of mood Miley Cyrus was going to be in, because she was actually going to be doing a little duet later on with her godmother. We're going to talk about that in a minute, baby. I said, you going to have to sing tonight, and he did. He raised to the occasion, and it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Moving on. We had a performance by Janelle Monáe. It was a girl moment. Janelle came out and killed it. She killed it. It was giving me a whole nod to Prince and Robert Palmer, the girls and her, and the latex bodysuits. Then she had a Michael Jackson moment in there where she did a whole little moonwalk break. And then they did the little vagina monologue with those little pants. That's what I call those pants. The vagina monologue, because it looks just like a labia. So I was like, okay. She did that whole thing. Then she had her whole James Brown moment. And then she just gave and dropped the mic and went on about her business. I was like, Janelle, you had better. You had better. Janelle Monáe is, she's a movement. And her, so she's like she really is like a little female Prince, you know, so to speak. She's a movement. I love Janelle Monáe. I love what she does. I love her awareness. I love how she's very fearless, and she's very non-apologetic, and I like that. I like me some Janelle Monáe. Moving forward, we had a moment where there was John Mayer and Alicia Keys, and we had this whole come back together in the present moment. You all know, if you've been watching the Grammys, how they were in a category together years ago, and he broke the Grammy and gave her a piece, and he took a piece because he thought that she should have won as well. It was interesting. It was very, very interesting. I thought it was nice. I just kind of laughed. And they came together and they did what the category was that year. It was Song of the Year, and Song of the Year actually went to Childish Gambino for This Is America. I was like, okay. I was shocked. But that's what happened. I said, come on, Childish. You go on with yourself. And then did you all love the commercial with Childish Gambino and the Avatar, like, doing a dance-off? I just thought that was the cutest commercial, because the Avatar was trying to give Childish Gambino the business. I was like, okay. And it really did when it twirled around and gave him the whole Michael Jackson moment. I was like, oh, well, Childish, he got you. But that's a very, very cute commercial. Anyway, moving on. Post Malone. Y'all have to go. Y'all definitely have to go to the other video and see what I had to say about Post Malone and his red carpet look. Oh. Anyway, but Post Malone performed with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've loved the Red Hot Chili Peppers for years, and I cannot believe that at their age they are still performing at that height of energy at their age. I love it. I love it. I love them. But they did a little performance together. It was really cool. Moving on. Dolly. Miss Dolly. I am a lover. I've been a lover since I was tiny. I have loved Dolly Parton. Always have. And they did a whole basic tribute to Dolly, and she was part of her own tribute. Maren Morris, the dress girl. Yes, ma'am. She was so clean. So clean. And she looked more like she would have been the goddaughter of Dolly Parton than Miley. Miley looked a whole fool. Do you hear me? A whole fool. She had this suit on, and the suit was completely too big, and it was ill-fitting. She gave me complete bozo tease. Again, other video, you can see more about that. It just was not a good look at all. Casey Musgrave was part of the tribute. It was good. Katy Perry. Katy, you were doing the most. I love Katy Perry, but Katy Perry was, I don't know if she was just so overwhelmed or if she was so excited to be there, but she was over singing, and she was like basically like kind of screaming into the mic. And you all know Katy got vocals, but she was like screaming into the mic. But my favorite part of the whole thing was actually seeing Miley and Dolly singing Jolene. I was like, okay. Because I love the original, naturally, and I love Miley's cover of her Godmother song. And they sang, and like I said, I knew Shawn Mendes was going to have to come to the plate because I knew Miley came to sing. You ain't came to sing with Dolly and didn't come to sing. I knew where she was, what headspace she was going to be in. And it was so good. It was so good, baby. Soon as they hit it, hey, Jolene, Jolene. I said, oh, come on through. I loved it. That was my favorite piece of that tribute was Miley and Dolly. I loved it. And of course, Dolly looked great. Dolly looked great. Yeah, with her little tiny self in them heels. I said, come on, Dolly. Anyway, and then after that, a little bit goes by, and then we had the performance for me of the night, and it was Let There Be No Mistake. Let there be no mistake that the performance of the night for the 61st Annual Grammy Awards, the mouth-dropping moment, the moment where the folks were looking at each other and saying, what the hell just happened here? Cardi B, honey. Miss Cardi let the Grammys have it. She let the Grammys have it. Do you hear me? I said this earlier, well, back in 2018, that every time Cardi B gets on stage, there is this thing that is growing inside of her as far as her stage presence and her stage performance. And every time she does it, she's getting better and getting better and getting better. And listen, people can say what they want to say. She's not my favorite person when it comes to her having to talk and having to, you know, it's like, oh, I don't know. But these stage performances, getting better and better and better. And tonight was her time. Killed it. And I love that money, shake a little ass. What? Do it real fast and get a little more. Come on, money. Whole Las Vegas vibe. Feathers and beads and rhinestones and an Asian woman who was so goddamn clean. Because the Asian girl on the piano was so bad by herself before we even seen Cardi. I looked at her and it was just, we seen her from here up. And what she had on, I said, whose little Asian daughter is this? Clean. And got the banging them keys, baby. I said, girl, you had better stroke those ivories. Got down. Do you hear me? Getting down. It was so good. So good. And Cardi performed her ass off. Waves in her hair. Boom. Catsuit. Boom. Shoe. Bam. Come down all the steps. She had her little earpiece. Come on, Cardi. Cardi knew all her places, where she was going to be, what she needed to do, didn't miss a beat, got her ass up on that piano, and left the folks with their mouth open. And I said, no, Cardi, don't do it to them. Don't do it, Cardi. When she turned around and gave spread eagle, I said, oh, not to the lens, Cardi. Slayed. Left the people with their mouths hanging open. Money. All a bad bitch need is money. Bags in the coop. Money. Quit playing. I loved it. It was everything for me. Everything. It was the best thing of the whole entire night. Cardi B literally killed the 61st Annual Grammy Awards. She had her moment. And then she really had her moment later on when she ended up winning. Number 8. female to win a Grammy Award. Cardi B. I said, girl, you had better. And then she went up on stage. I'm jumping forward. But she went up on stage and we saw Belcalis. Because it was true and genuine. It wasn't a character. See, because that's what I get from Cardi all the time. That caricature. And it wasn't the caricature. We actually got Cardi herself, Belcalis, the real Cardi B. She's excited and she didn't know what to say and she was speechless. And it was something about it that was just so lovable that you wanted to go up there and just hug her. For the first time, I wanted to just go up and embrace her and say, girl, you did it, honey. You did it. You had your moment tonight. The planets aligned. Child, they've been aligning, but they have truly aligned and shine light on you, baby. And you have had your moment tonight. And she was clean as hell in that white gown with all the French. I'm going on. Cardi B. Moving on. I love it. I love it. Get on down, Cardi, girl. You got it, girl. You got it. Anyway, let's go, child. Let's move on. Okay, so Alicia comes back. Said, what you gonna do now, Leash? Alicia pulled out a Hazel Scott on y'all. I said, oh no, Alicia! You're not sitting there playing two pianos, are you, sis? What? And did the Alicia Keys. Set a whole tone and a whole mood for the room. You know Alicia can do that. You know who does that? Jill Scott does that. Erykah Badu does that. They changed the whole mood of the room. Alicia changed the whole mood of the room and you felt as though you were at an old speakeasy with a bunch of smoke and folks drinking brown liquor. And she did this whole double piano solo. And then she started tributing out basically songs that she said she wished she had actually wrote those songs. And she was running down through them and I was just sitting over there getting my life. She ran through Roberta Flack. She ran through Nat and Natalie Cole. Lauryn Hill. And then what I thought was so cute, she ran into Ella Mai. Brand new artist, Ella Mai. And when they flashed the camera on Ella Mai, you could have bought her for a nickel. I said, girl, I know. That's gotta be a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And she did. She got to sing an Ella Mai song. And I was like, okay. And you know, it's so funny because the song has done so well. That ba-da, boo-da. I got so tired of hearing the song, but you just kind of appreciated it all over again as to why you did get tired of hearing it, because it is so good. It really is good and it really is catchy. And look, it's caught the ear of some of even people who are really important in your craft. I was really, really happy for Ella Mai. Yeah, it made up for that fashion moment that you had on the red carpet. Catch the other video. Anyway, but I thought that was really, really, really cute. She was really shocked though when Alicia started playing her song, and then when she bring it in with that New York, I said, oh, where's Jay-Z at? It was good. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I think that may have been my second favorite piece of this for tonight. It was a really great performance, but I was expecting something good from Alicia. I really was. I knew she wasn't going to be outdone. Not with all that classical training and things that she got. It was really good though. Then we had the boss. We had the boss, and old Diana did her thing, and they had her grandbaby come out, and I actually love it because one of my subscribers is, I'm not going to go throw names out there, but she is a cousin. She's a cousin of the little boy who is Diana Ross's grandson. And she hit me in my IG and said, oh yeah, my cousin's going to be opening and introducing his grandma. And sure enough, I was looking and waiting, and here he comes, because that little boy is uber smart and uber talented. And he came out, honey, and he introduced his grandmother like he had been doing this for, he has been doing it for years. And he was so good. He introduced his grandma, and she came out, and she was the boss, you know, as only the boss could be. She did her dress, and of course it was, you know, a lot of dress and cumbersome. And I'm like, oh, Diana, don't you trip up these steps, girl. But she did her whole thing, and she did the reach out and touch thing, and I was here for it. I was definitely here for it. And the other thing, I was like, okay, Ross, I'm here. You know, I'm always here for Diana Ross. Anytime she shows up, however she shows up, and the whole family was there and all of that, I'm like, cool, love them. Love them. I love the energy they exude. But I was like, wait a minute, girl. Because it ain't your birthday for real. She's like, happy birthday to me. And I'm like, well, you know, it was just weird because, you know, we celebrate our birthdays. You might actually have a party the Saturday before or possibly the Saturday after your birthday if your birthday falls in the middle of the week or something like that. But Diana Ross's birthday ain't till the end of March, y'all. I was like, okay, well, I mean, I guess because Grammys is only once a year, so I guess. But I mean, you're Diana Ross, and you're going to be 75 years old. Guess what? Guess what? They could give the boss a whole special for her birthday, as far as I'm concerned. I don't feel like she should have had to jumpstart her birthday all the way to the Grammys. We could have waited, and then in a month, we could have actually had a whole special all about Diana Ross, and it would be warranted. She is Diana Ross. Get into it. But anyway, we just celebrated your birthday, girl, before it come. So don't expect no another gift, girl. When it gets to March and we get to the end, girl, we ain't giving you no another gift. So, I'm just joking, you guys. But it struck me funny. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, okay, that's the first. And I celebrated birthday a month and a half before I get here. That was cute. We moved on. Okay, here's another performance that was really good. But I think the performer got confused. Lady Gaga. Girl, I love you, but girl, now Gaga. I said, girl, you're getting confused. You're getting confused now. She was doing her song, Shallow, that she does with Brady Cooper for A Star Is Born. And the song has done, like, huge. It's actually breaking records. It has broken records. It won tonight, and that was actually the 24th award that the song has won, which actually put it in front of Thriller as far as awards for individual songs. It's actually put that song in front of Thriller. It's in second place for the most awarded song in history at this point. But yeah, so she's singing Shallow, and listen, that jumpsuit, this rhinestone and studded jumpsuit that Gaga had on was not to be toyed with. Do you understand me? Fitting her like a glove, and I mean, it was stoned out. Like, you had to do one of them. You almost needed 3D glasses to look at her in this jumpsuit. I loved her hair. I loved all of it. Now, I could do without the boots, but that's my own personal thing. It went along with what she was doing. I'm not a fan really of platforms, so you know, and it was platform to the max. It was give a kiss kind of platform. But I said, okay. But then I'm laughing at, she was performing her ass off and singing her ass off. But I was laughing because, for me, and y'all tell me if y'all caught this, so the songs from A Star Is Born, the remake. And the performance she was given was serving me very much Bohemian Rhapsody. I was like, okay, girl, you are giving me all kinds of Freddie Mercury tease at this point. I was like, oh my God, Gaga. But I loved it. I mean, everything, even down to, it was so dramatic. And the very end of it, she was leaned all the way over looking at, I said, girl, if that ain't Freddie Mercury, honey, I said, girl, get on down, Gaga. But you done got confused about what movie you was at, girl. But I loved it just the same. I loved it. Get on down, Gaga. She did the hell out of it. Love the jumpsuit, girl. Moving on. Travis Scott. Travis Scott did a very interesting performance as well. And it included Earth, Wind, and Fire. I was like, come on, Verdine. Back there in the back, honey. Still with all your hair. I'm jealous. Verdine is still giving. Bitch, what? Bitch, where? And Philip Bailey. All right. Legend. So I'm just going to give it to you. I ain't even going to mess with you. But I didn't understand. But because Philip wasn't getting off like Philip get off. But anyway, and they had James Blake up there with them. And James Blake was getting down. He was getting down. He was really good. He was really good. And then the performance, I love that he incorporated them. And then it went into a whole different thing, honey. It went into a whole rave party, and they had the fence, and he was in the midst of the fence, and they were climbing up, and it was good. It was good. It was good. It was interesting. It was very well done, and the way that the energy was and the way it was filmed, it really did make you feel like you were at a rave. And they were climbing that fence, and I said, "Come on, Travis!" And he was doing this thing, and then he climbed the fence with the mic. And, I mean, he didn't lose his breath or anything. I said, you're some kind of little performer, aren't you, Mr. Travis? I said, okay. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Then we have this Motown tribute. Charlie, you know folks been going on and on about this Motown tribute. Folks was upset because J-Lo was doing it. And they're saying, why is J-Lo doing this Motown thing? Why isn't there more Motown? I'm like, okay, whatever. Just come on. Just come on. Let's just go. And sure enough, Smokey goes up to Smokey Robinson and J-Lo, and they get started. And Smokey don't really do too much. He did a little bit. But it was really on J-Lo and Neo to really bring it on through. It was really on J-Lo to bring it on through. J-Lo did J-Lo. I wasn't impressed with this. Because it was very much J-Lo's Vegas show. It didn't give me a Motown feel at all. Like, I didn't have a Motown feel. I'm sitting at a J-Lo show, and she has Neo guest starring for a little bit, and she has borrowed some things from the Motown Review as a skit to go into her Vegas show. That's what I got. I didn't get a tribute to Motown. I was like, See, because we've all seen Motown 25. And this wasn't it. You know, this wasn't even nothing like it. But for what it was, J-Lo, girl, you performed your ass off. That coat, she had this coat midway through covered in feathers. I have told you all before that I have always wanted me a whole big Diana Ross coat covered in feathers with the train and the whole 9 yards. That coat, J-Lo, girl, just box that on up and send that on to Pittsburgh. Just send it on here, girl. Coat was everything. And the last few minutes, the last few seconds, where she really did the J-Lo thing and she got to literally dancing, and she danced her heart out at that last little part, then got up on top of the piano. That was fabulous. That was fabulous. But Motown, it was not. That was not Motown. That was J-Lo in Vegas. So, I love J-Lo. I'm cool. It's fine. But that wasn't no Motown tribute. So, y'all can stop that. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Okay, moving on. Okay, as I said, I learned some new stuff, okay? Brandi Carlile. And I've actually heard her name thrown around before, not stopped long enough to really pay too much attention. When I tell you that Brandi Carlile stood her little self on that stage and she performed The Joke, she sang her heart out. Do you hear me? I was sitting there looking at her and I was like, girl, you really can sing. Girl, this is really good. And then I start really paying attention to her set, and they were running the words and stuff behind there. Y'all know I live for lyrics, honey. And I was like, girl, The Joke is on them. It was everything. I was like, oh my God, I immediately went and got the song. Immediately went and got the song. See, that's what the Grammys is about. It's not just about, you know, being on there to support artists that you actually know. It's really about introducing you to other genres and other artists. And this was like definitely a moment. She sang the shit out of it. I was like, oh my God. I loved it. And like I said, I went immediately and got the song. I thought that was fantastic. That was fantastic. Then we actually had Chloe and Halle. Another fashion situation. Got to go refer to the other video, child, because Chloe and Halle, they did a little thing on the red carpet that I talked about, but they were so clean. They looked so nice, and they did tribute to Donny Hathaway, and they did it Chloe and Halle style. You know, they changed the arrangement, and they did "Where Is the Love," which is one of my favorite Donny Hathaway songs. And the bad part is, it's my favorite, but not really by Donny Hathaway. I prefer it by Robert Brookins and Stephanie Mills. But Donny Hathaway wrote it. But it was so strange to me that Layla Hathaway was sitting in the audience and she looked beautiful. She really did. She looked beautiful. And why didn't they just have Layla sing her dance? I didn't get it. I don't know why they didn't have, you know, God bless Chloe and Halle, but I didn't understand them having Layla sitting there and not have Layla be a part of that. But that was strange. Okay, so here was another moment. This is another moment. Listen, Dua Lipa. Now, I don't know that much about this little chick. I don't know that much about this little girl, but I do know, you know, she has the song, that little song that you know, you hear it in all the commercials and stuff. I always think of a commercial because I don't really know the song, but I always hear it in the commercial, so I know that goes with her, and it was a big song for her last year. And I said, I got to stop. I got to go. I'm going to have to go and research her, because this performance that she did, it was Dua Lipa and St. Vincent, and they were doing this little thing. It was like a whole little medley of their songs. I have to check the two of them out. Baby, the two of them, it was so goddamn sexy. I said, ooh, they was having a whole Versace moment up there, child. I said, girl, are those Versace thigh boots? And a bodysuit and a choker? Yes. And then, come on, safety pin dress? Girl, we're having a whole Gianni Donatella moment here. And I was here for it. I was so here for it. But beyond that, we got, and St. Vincent, she was the one. She's the one I kept, my eye was on her, because her skin is so pale and so creamy against all that black. And her hair was like slicked back. And then it was giving me this whole lesbian vibe. I said, oh, honey, it was giving a lot. It was giving a lot. I said, girl, y'all are giving me lesbonic tease, honey, and I am here for every bit of this right here. It was a whole lesbianotic situation, honey. I was like, oh, all right, honey. It was something. It was very, very sexy. Very, very sexy. I was like, wow. It was one of the performances where you felt like you was looking like this, because you weren't really supposed to be watching. I was like, girl, y'all better do it, honey. It was really good, though. I was like, oh, my. Oh, my. I liked it. Don't judge me. Okay, so another performance that I was waiting for all night long. All night I was waiting on this performance. And again, listen here. Aretha that went on home to glory. Y'all keep fucking up her tributes. Why? Why? Now, this time, you got it almost right. When I heard Yolanda Adams and Fantasia, I said, okay, we on. We're on. And I'm here for it. And then I heard Andra Day, and I was like, okay. You know, because Andra could sing. So I was like, all right, cool. See, it's always the odd man out that messed up for Aretha. It's, you know, when we go with the old stuff that we know with Aretha, things are good. Why didn't they just throw Jennifer Hudson? Just throw J Hud on the side. Andra Day, you need your ass whooped. You really do. Because you didn't really do no singing. Like I know you could sing. You didn't do none of that. And you looked horrible. You look horrible. They said it's a tribute to Aretha Franklin, not Amy Winehouse. Girl, you look horrible. It was terrible. Oh, damn. It was terrible. Oh, my God. And I just couldn't take my eyes off that outfit. I said, girl, where is you going? Where are you going? Girl, you look crazy. Oh my God. It was awful. Of course, you know, Yolanda and Fanny did their thing, but you could see them holding back. And I was like, I don't like that. I don't like what? Because Yolanda and Fanny needed, and then they put them on that little, You know these two heifers need room. They need room. And they can take and move Andra, just move her all together because she ain't doing nothing but looking crazy. I was like, child, I can't. If she didn't look like a little purple people eater, I said, girl, bye. That was horrible. Horrible. I was like, all right, cool. I mean, it wasn't the worst tribute to Aretha. It was okay, but it just wasn't what it could have been. It really wasn't. And I was mad, honey. I was upset. Upset. But anyway. Let's see. What else did I want to include? Album of the year went to Golden Hour, went to Casey Musgraves. Record of the year, actually, like I said, went to Childish Gambino. And that was a history moment because that's the first time a rap song has actually won record of the year, is what I'm hearing. So I'm like, okay, cool, that was good. And then Childish Gambino, he wasn't even there. I was like, damn, okay, cool, no problem. Drake won Best Rap Song, and Best Country Album went to Casey Ballerini. Her actually won Best R&B Album, she was shocked. And so was I. I was like, okay, girl, cool. She didn't even know. She's different. She's really like deep. Like she's real deep and don't have a whole lot to say. And I was like, all right, cool. I think she'll get better with that after, in time. But you could tell she's really deep into her music and not a big talker. Best New Artist actually went to Dua Lipa. So that was pretty cool too. And that was it. Really, really good show. I enjoyed myself the whole way through. I really, really did. Like I said, I have a separate video because it was going to get way too long. You know, I've talked a while. It was going to get way too long. So there's a separate video for my red carpet experience. And you definitely must go see that. And that is it. That is the wrap for the 61st Annual Grammy Awards. Thank you guys so much for watching. And, swipe left, that's me, 12 p.m. on Saturdays. Check me out here on my YouTube channel. That is my little show where I go through my week and tell you what's really going on, honey. So check me out on Swipe Left on Saturdays at 12 p.m. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Later. Swipe Left. Swipe Left.